Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you all for coming to the first of many YBE, yes sir, yes sir, Young Business Entrepreneur, presented by your host, James Rotimi. Get inspired, take action somewhere.
Hi, are you in action?
When I was growing up, I often thought I was, Superman, or,
I meant something else. I meant somebody who goes out and takes their own opportunity and finds it, and are you that sort of person?
When I left school, I didn't do so well. Then I thought, well, I like being in school and being around people. Then when I left school, I sort of started to focus on what I wanted to do, which was like media.
So what one word do you have to fellow people who want to take yourself to be an action man, or woman in your case?
Get to step in.
I'm with Chantel. So are you girls action girls?
Yeah, you could say that, yeah. Actual.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what makes you girls action girls?
I go out and find opportunities that could challenge me. Well, I go to school weekdays, and on weekends I go to acting classes.
As you can see, they're both action girls, and it's hope that you guys who are watching this can be action men and action girls too. I guess I go out and find my own opportunities, because that's the only way you're going to succeed, right? Finding and going out and making your own opportunities. So what makes me an action man is I'm great. I want to be the best. I want to be the action man. And we're going to ask the question to, what's your name? Shazia. So Shazia, are you an action girl?
Well, I take action, but I wouldn't call myself an action girl.
How come you say that?
Well, because I don't always take the right actions. You know what I mean? Like, if I get angry, I would go and fight the person. But instead of calming myself down, I take the wrong actions. So I'm not a good example of an action girl, but I'm an action girl.
Also with Jordan. Are you an action girl?
Not exactly. It depends on what you mean by that.
I mean somebody who goes out and finds out all opportunities.
Yeah, then yeah.
How would you say you're an action girl?
If I have a gift, I'll try and enhance it by seeing if I can do any other extra activities to help it develop. Yeah.
So everyone on this bus, are you all action girls?
How would I say I'm action girl? Because, I would go for it. Sometimes. It depends where it is. What am I talking about?
Well, thank you. It's James on the bus 41 saying, are you an action girl? Are you an action man?
Yes, I am. Because I wake up in the morning and I go to work.
An action man.
Am I what?
Are you an action man?
You guys heard me waffle all along. Let me introduce you guys to my first speaker. And her name, she's a devoted mother of four. She's also a social entrepreneur. And she really knows what she's talking about. She has her own business called So You Want to Be and TV. Let me introduce you guys to Riok Edebrow.
Good evening everybody. Thank you. I'm going to wait for them just to put on the if this doesn't work, then I know that you'll bear with me and we'll work through this manually. I just thought I'd come along this evening because I've been invited along by James, and as James kindly introduced me, my name is Rioja Woods-Brown, and I've set up a social enterprise to basically get those that are interested in starting a career in the industry, giving them the knowledge of what they need to do and the routes they would need to take to actually satisfy that inclination. I do a number of things. I appear on many news programmes as a media campaigner, and I do this in a voluntary capacity outside of my normal work, and I help families that have issues who are not given a voice, and so I regularly turn up on things like Sky News, GMTV, formerly Richard and Judy, and things like that. And basically what I'm trying to do is to bring more diversity to television. That's essentially what I want to do. But I want to concentrate on entry level. So if there was anybody in this room that was interested in starting a career, then I'm the person that I hope they would speak to. I've got sponsorship. This is how I move the programme forward. And it's been great because people like ITV, Talkback Thames who run the X Factor, Britain's Got Talent have come on board. And there are other companies like Kudos, Turner and the Shine Group, which are the largest TV production company in the UK. And I thought I'd just actually introduce you, give you the backdrop as to why I actually started So You Want to Be in TV. My son was shot and stabbed while in school, and the reason given by one of the perpetrators that he hated him for having two parents at home. And that completely blew my mind. Family and friends were ready to wage war, but I just wasn't interested in revenge. Anger had got us to that situation, and while my son is very much alive, the psychological issues were much harder to deal with. Having done a little bit of research on the young man that stabbed my son, was that there was a complete lack of value. And this young gentleman didn't have any value in his life, so therefore he didn't presume that he was taking any value away from somebody like my son. So based on that, I wondered, was there anything that I could bring to the community, and were there any skills that I could possibly bring to the community? And as television is my skill base, I thought I'd start from there. So what we do is we open the doors, and these sorts of people turn up, which are from all of our communities. We have the unemployed, we have ex-offenders, we have NEETs. These are young people that are not in education and not in employment. We have young people that are in school and are very much wanting to move forward on their school schedule. We have the disabled, we have white working class, we have ethnic minorities, and they're between the ages of 14 to 40. And what we actually do is we go to the industry and we say, could you give us some of your time, please? And so people like John Stapleton, who any of you who've watched GMTV will know is a 34-year industry specialist that comes and gives his free time. And we also ask other young gentlemen, like the gentleman in the back there, fiddling with the phone, Ian Brown. He's got 26 years in the industry, and he also comes and gives his time free of charge. Here we have another group that turned up, just like yourselves. Bill Ward is a famous actor from Coronation Street. It's all about giving something back.
Please give a warm round of applause for David McQueen.
Thank you very much for that introduction, James. Good evening, everybody. How you doing? How you doing? Just wave at me, it makes me feel good. So I don't feel like a waste man when I'm up here. All right, okay, fantastic. Very quick introduction about who I am. My name is Dave McQueen. I'm 41 years old. I've got two daughters. I know I look good, don't I? I've got two daughters. I'm married to a beautiful woman who's lucky to have me, and I'm extremely lucky. And I'm extremely lucky to have her. You must wait, all right? That's the whole point. You must wait. Okay, let me ask a quick question. How many of you in here want to be successful? Okay, how many of you in here are already successful? Okay, okay. For those of you who didn't put up your hand, you've got to ask yourself the question, why? What are you thinking of when you're thinking about your success? And I've only got 10 minutes, I'm going to try and squeeze... Okay, alright. I'm going to try and squeeze... I'm going to leave you guys with some tips for some sex. Oh, some sex, you know? Wow, geez. Let me go back with that. Lord, hold my tongue, okay? Success! Whew. Sorry, it's a Freudian slip. I was thinking about my wife. Anyway, so, moving on. The fact I talk very straight, if you don't like it, build a bridge and get over it. Okay, all right. The deal is this. The deal is this for every single one of you guys here. I want you to recognize this, that if you want to be successful, I'm going to say it slowly now, you have to start planning from now. Who here is under 16? Okay. Who here is like under 18 then? I will forget the other ones there. Okay. Who's over 18? No, I know 15. Okay, so good. So we're talking about say about 14 to 19. Let's just say that's a ballpark area. Every single one of you here I will really recommend that if you do nothing from tonight, taking away obviously the tips that Rio gave about TV, go home and write down what your future is going to look like in 3 years' time. I challenge you to do that. Design your future. What's it going to be like in 3 years' time? Are you going to be looking good? Is your hair going to be looking nicer than it is? Not that your hair don't look nice now, right? Because don't anybody get upset, you know, just generally speaking. How many of you in here are going to be holding down a job or in university? How many of you are going to be doing what you say you're going to be doing? What I'm going to say to you guys is make sure you measure it up, and you know what? Have a plan B. Because I've seen so many people go into sports and arts and media, and they haven't got a backup plan. And they haven't got you know, something in place in case something goes wrong. So I'm going to give you 4 key tips, all right? 4 key tips I'm going to give you guys, and I want you to just write it in your mind, put it down in your mobile, whatever it is you've got to do. Just 4 key tips. Number 1, have a vision. Know where it is you want to go. If I said to any of you in here in the room, I'll pay you £5,000 tonight if you go to Ongar and pick up a packet for me, who would go? Who knows where Ongar is? Alright? Okay, that's good. That's what I like. People are like, I'll take the money anyway, boy. Zimbabwe, bro. I'm going. Okay? Ongar's on the Central Line, so all you just do is go up to Oxford Circus and then you go across. It's near Leytonstone. Okay? Now, unless I'm doing it in East London, sometimes when I come and tell people, they're like, where the heck is Ongar? But you know, I'm glad that you guys put up your hand. And I know it's because you wanted the £5 grand. You're like, boy, just give me the money, I'm gone, you ain't seen me again, all right? But I wouldn't haunt you. The fact is that you took the drive, and that's what it's about. You don't get on the train to say that you're going somewhere without actually planning the journey. If you do, you're just like sitting on the circle line and just going round and round and going in circles like you're mad. So when you have an idea about where it is you want to go, it might not be a job, it might not be a career, it might just be about being able to find out what you're good at. Start to define a map. Write it down. If you've got friends, I'm sure everybody here got friends, yeah? Yeah. If you ain't got friends, that's add me on Facebook, I'll be your friend. Okay, alright? But if you've got friends, have a conversation with them and say to them, you know, this is what I want to do. And I'm not talking about the energy vampires who are just like, nah, you ain't going anywhere, bro, it's just rubbish, you're bank, you ain't going to. Not those kind of friends. The kind of friends who will support you. The kind of friends who will believe in where you're going. Second point, know who you are as an individual. The biggest thing I say to my own daughters is, look, at the end of the day, don't let anybody tell you that you ain't a princess. Because your dad told you that you're a princess. Recognize that. Don't let no ugly something come and tell you that you ain't a. You are a princess. And I want you to recognize that starts from the inside and then makes its way outside. When you know what you're capable, and don't compare yourself to anybody. I grew up, and as I said, I could speak quite straight. When I grew up, my parents said to me, Dave, you know what, you need to work twice as hard as the white guy beside you. And it used to burn me because I used to think, well, you know, I got to work hard, man, I got to work hard. And then I got to a point where I thought, you know what? Why should I have to compare myself to an Asian guy, a white guy, a Chinese guy, whoever it is? Why? I'm Dave. There's only one of me. As my mum would say, thank God, all right? But there's only one of me. Why should I have to compare myself to anybody else? Recognize what makes you unique. Recognize what your skills and gifts and talents are. Don't try to be the next Beyonce or the next, what's that dude who plays for Chelsea up front? Drogba, all right? Or the next Kobe Bryant. Be the first you. Because when you're trying to be someone else, when you drop, you're going to be worried, oh my gosh, I didn't make it up to their standard. No, have your standards and maintain your standards, but recognize it's about you. Third point, build a team. Okay? I will say this now. If you find me anybody in this world that's successful without a team, I'll give you all my money. In my bank. All of it. I'll write the check. My wife will slap me upside the head, but I'll give you all the money. Because no one is successful on their own. You can drive the vision on your own, but you need a team around you.
It's over. It's over. I thank God. I thank my team. I thank Rachel. Today went well. Let's hope the next one goes well as well. And thank you to my guests as well. It went really well today, man. YB, new day, new knowledge.